I am delighted to see that mental health and psychosocial support, and specifically SEL, has now become a more prominent and featured place in education and emergencies. Not even a few years back, it was something that was overlooked or sort of like an add-on, or like, oh, well, maybe if we get to that. And I think we're at a key point to really change our education systems, reimagine how we see learning, and start integrating this programming and these playful approaches at a very, very early onset. So we're building, confidence in our children, self-esteem, empathy, social awareness, and these very, very important skills that are going to transform their lives. To me, I always think education, migration, MHPSS, these are not separate categories. And it particularly, I find it frustrating to think that they're lumped into different categories, because at the heart of all of these different situations is the fact that we are all human beings. And we have this innate desire for protection, to be well, to have our loved ones be well, but also to learn and to grow. And so we can't look at it from different perspectives, because that in itself is the problem. Education in emergencies is the key, because it is the need for security and peace and nurturing care that allows for children to develop and heal during and post these difficult situations. Oftentimes I think, okay, well, what's the point of learning literacy and numeracy? Well, it's not just the fact that they need to learn to read and to write to create more opportunities. But these are not distinct problems. They're closely tied, they're closely interconnected, and they become more and more and more important when you're talking about children that have experienced tremendous amounts of trauma and who may not be able to absorb educational materials because of their state and their well-being. And really, how do you basically present to them opportunities so that then they can become employable, that they can lead a life that's with dignity and show that they have these amazing skills and can contribute to their new location. Because oftentimes refugees, unfortunately, seem like a burden to society, and that's not the case. These are humans that can contribute so much to the new location and surroundings, but we need to make sure that these children have those skills so that they can blossom and thrive as they grow. So if the pandemic has taught us anything, is that well-being and learning are intrinsically connected. And I think it's very, very important that we start thinking about these as a combined duo, where MHPSS and SEL support education and are part of education and are part of the formal structures and the informal structures, rather than two different fields. And then also thinking about, how are we integrating displaced children into our societies? Because having this disconnect is only going to grow intolerance. It's only going to make things worse. And at a time where we have so much hate and discord around the world, we need to start thinking of, how are we building bridges of peace rather of keeping things separate.